Good morning, y'all. Welcome into y'all know it's Purpose and Conversation with who? Your boy Joe Locker. How y'all doing this morning, man? Got a great show lined up for you guys. They got a great guest. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I think he's probably the youngest. Oh, I think he got a little suave, he got a little salve about him. He's in the building. Mr. Kente. If y'all been watching our social media, he's in the building. He says he's gonna be more hyped than me. I don't know, America. He's gonna be more hyped than me. The KID, the JOE. Talk to your boy, man. Grab y'all coffee, man. We got a great show lined up for you. But y'all know before I get into the show, y'all know I always have a word for you, right? So today, what I want to talk about is summertime. I see a lot of folks out there getting married, and I see a lot of folks, going through some strife and some trouble and some things in their life. I'm married. Let me tell y'all this right now. Um, if you're in a relationship, especially if you're married, if it's something that's wrong and dangerous in a relationship, I understand you got to get out of it. But I do want to speak on because people always hear me speaking. They think I don't want to be in a marriage. I don't want to be married, and I'm against relationship, and I'm not. If you're in a relationship and there are problems, what I'm learning is being a coach and being in this space is communication is key within a relationship. And fellas, let me say this to y'all at the beginning of the show: we don't listen to our women when they ask and tell us to do things, right? And so I think as men, we need to be more not just a leader, right? Because women want us to be leaders. But I'm gonna add something to this, ladies. I want y'all to share this video because I'm speaking some truth for you now. You need to make sure that the man that you're with is accountable for his own actions, right? And when I say accountability, meaning that he understands that he's falling short and be able to communicate that to you without you judging him. Communication from both parts. But as a man, we have to be able, because we're afraid sometimes to tell y'all ladies, I don't know, or I don't have the answer, or something is going bad, or I just may not be able to meet the ends at the end of the month, right? And a lot of times we have those issues. So what I'm saying is for relationships, one of the prime things I see that's happening, especially when people are getting divorced today, is a lack of communication. Number two, the other thing that I see is men, myself included, we don't want to go to counseling. And sometimes, and I'm gonna take it from Mo, man of experience. My situation was the counseling, when my ex-wife asked me for counseling, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for us. It was for her because she couldn't talk to me and say the things she needed to say because I wouldn't listen. I would always interrupt her. So sometimes, fellas, even though we don't like counseling, we don't like nobody else in our business. Sometimes when your wife is asking you, we need to go to couples counseling, something, you probably need to go do that. So just a little word from your boy as we sip our coffee, and you got mad at your husband this morning. You got mad at your wife this morning, and you said some dumb stuff. Call your girl, text her, tell her you love her. Okay, send a nice little text. Hey, ladies, it's your boy Joe Locker. Send him a picture. All right, guys, we got a lot to get into today on the show. I ain't say what kind of picture. I just said send my picture. Just smile at your man. All right, y'all. Today on the show, man, I got a very young entrepreneur. This man has changed his life after something devastating happened to him. I don't know his full story. I read through his bio. It's very impressive. But he's a college guy. He came in here, man, and usually I look people in the eye, right? He came in, grabbed me, and I'm looking up at this dude like, who the heck? Right? I mean, he like grabbed me, right? I'm like, wait a minute, bro. I had to muscle up on him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then he came in, like he ready to work out or something. I'm like, who the hell? Oh man, this is my guess. This guy here, he's a speaker on many stages. He has made changes in many people's lives. He's influencing your kids of the future. He is the man. When I say that I'm impressed by his resume, when I'm impressed about the things he's about to get into and all what he's out there been speaking on the big stage, we're going to talk about that. The one and only Josiah Kente, he's in the building. For y'all who know him, he's him. He's here with your boy. And let me go ahead and say, man, I'm proud and I'm honored to have this interview. And he's probably one of the youngest folks I've ever interviewed. But I'm super excited to interview the one and only EJ. What's up, boy?
Man, what's up, man? It's an honor to be on the show, dog. I appreciate it. And just a disclaimer, bro. Anything that's on my resume, bro, it came from a painful place, bro. Like, it just came from a place where I had to make a decision whether or not I was gonna stay down or get back up, bro. Like my entire life has always been a fight. So the things that you see on the resume is just a testament of how good God has been inside my life, man. So I appreciate you for reaching out, for just having me here, man. I appreciate it.
But I'm super excited to have you, even though you tried to muscle up on me when we walked over here, man. I had, bruh, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, y'all saying me buff, right? You know what I'm saying? I call them Chinese food. I call them too young. No, man, I'm super excited to have you, man. I want to talk to you over coffee, man. I want to get to know your story a little bit more. Someone sent me your resume, your bio, and I looked over it, right? And I was impressed. But I seen that you went through a lot of different things in your life where you were injured. You was bound for greatness. Not saying that you don't have greatness now, but you was bound for a different path back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into that story. So before we get into what happened, how God then bless you and all the things you're doing, how old are you, EJ?
I'm 26.
You're 26. Okay. So being 26 years old, are you from Birmingham, Alabama?
Yeah, I'm from Birmingham. Went to school, maybe on the south side. So I went to school at Ramsey High School, man.
Oh, you're a smart. You're a smart one, huh?
Oh yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Okay. All right. So okay. So what kind of grades you get, man?
I say I wasn't the smartest in the bunch, but I kept it, C plus, B minus. I did just enough to play ball, bro.
Oh, so you played football. So
yeah.
So let me ask you this. So when you was a kid, did you come from that 2-parent household?
Yeah, 2-parent household, man. 3 siblings in the house, and we also had I had older siblings as well. Loving family, man.
Wait a minute, excuse me. You said 3 siblings as well, and the oldest sibling. What is that? I don't understand that.
So like I grew up as the oldest, but I also have an older sister. That like she's way older than me. Well, hold on. Jasmine. If she listened to that, she older than me, but
so how you gonna be the oldest and you got a sister older than you? How that work?
Because in the household, I grew up as the oldest, so they would look to me for things because I'm the
so your oldest sister had already left home.
Yeah, she had already gone.
Okay, so make sure you explain it, because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, man. Between mom and dad, who's the toughest on you?
I say,
who you scared of?
I ain't scared of neither one of them. I respect them out of fear of the Lord, but I will say, I say both of them, man.
Your mama pull up in here and hit you upside the head. I ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. But
that's why I said that's a pick out of them, man. But I say both of them did a great job of knowing when to insert force and when to insert love. Okay. So both of them I have mad respect for, man.
Who was a disciplinarian?
My dad for sure.
Your dad for sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was a time when my mom, she last time she spanked me and my brother. She left the kitchen. Me and my brother started laughing because we getting bigger, man, lifting weights. I'm like, bro, this ain't it. So she came back, tears in her eyes. She like, I'm finna go get your dad. And we was like, just take my phone, bro.
Bro, I know the voice, I know the tone, because I did it too. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
Because one thing daddy don't want to see is mama cry.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
And something that he brought into the world made my wife cry. Oh, bro, he gonna get pain off of you.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I just met you today. I guarantee you, he made you cry. Did you cry? Did you cry?
Well, I don't think we got a whooping that day.
What?
I think we just got like keys taken. Like.
But the next time he got a hold to you, did he make you pay for it?
That was the last time I got a whooping. That's
really? Oh, you got
because we was about like 15, 16.
Man, it didn't matter. My dad saw my mom tears, bro. He lost his damn bro. My dad went berserk, y'all. Hey, I went on here and cried just for GP Perk. I just got tired. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let some tears roll down. But okay, so you was the oldest in the house. So what are the ages of your younger sisters and brothers?
So my sister, she just turned 21 this year.
Okay.
My brother, we're 18 months apart. I'm the oldest from him. But he just turned 25.
Okay.
So we always playing catch up.
Got you. So I know that you was a football star. So when did that start for you?
That started at the age of 5, man, at Huffman Ballpark.
Okay.
That my first encounter with football, I didn't like it. Went out there the first day, everybody looked like Transformers, smell of grass. I'm up there sneezing and stuff, man. And first time they put a ball in my hands, I didn't know what to do. So the coach blew the whistle, bro, hit me, levitated me. His name was DeMontego. I don't know where he is, but I want to find him to get my lit back, man. I don't care how old we get, bro. But that was my first introduction.
No. We gonna go back to the embarrassing moment, bro. Because you got some great moments. I want to go back to the embarrassing moment. We gonna get to your highlights, dog. But okay. So tell me how this went. You grabbed that ball. What happened?
So it was one of the things where the coaches was on our back, where the players were on our back, blow the whistle, stand up. I didn't know I was supposed to run into the person. Because I mean, you think about football is really dumb. Like you running full speed into another man, and whoever win, that's good success, right? So I didn't know I was supposed to run into him, but he had been there before. So like he ran to me, ball went flying, I went flying. I mean, if it was a cartoon, my helmet, I'll be looking at the side, bro.
You look at that little hole on the side of
it was bad, bro. But that night, I told my dad, I say, man, I don't know what you signed me up for, but I don't want to play football no more. He said, hey, your last name is Kenty. Whatever we start, we're going to finish.
Wow.
And he said, one thing about your pads, you got them for a reason. You got to use them, and your pads are going to protect you. So he said, the next day you go out there, run full speed, and good things going to happen. That's why I did, and I never lost that season. Like anybody put in front of me, man, I just ran through them, bro.
Wow.
Yep.
So that conversation from your father actually really changed you, because you would have quit.
Yeah.
If your dad would have allowed you to quit.
Mm-hmm. I didn't need no training. Like I see kids nowadays, they do all the footwork, they do all these different things at the age of 3, 4, 5 years old, but they don't have the mindset. So I think that's something that's being lost within the art of not just the game, but the art of humanity, is that you can have all these different things. You can have nice setups. You can have all this good action plans. But if you don't have the mindset to really follow through something, man, it's gonna fall null and void.
Josiah Kent is in the building, y'all. We're having coffee. I hope you guys enjoying your coffee. And I'm talking with him about it because I want to get into the story, because he got his own company. One time Flip the Culture. Okay. You know, and that's what you actually been doing. But to get to the company, to get to all of that, you had to get leveled first. You got flipped. You got knocked down on your behind.
Right.
But your dad was there to get you back up. What's something that I see you doing a lot now. Great to know that. After that moment, what position did you play?
I played everything on defense. I was always a headhunter.
You played defense?
I played everything on defense.
Hold on, your side, you play defense?
Defense.
Oh, you was like what's it, Ryan Clark? You're Ryan Clark of because he's small, but he played defense.
Well, I'm 6'3", and at my playing weight in college, I was like 205.
Okay.
So that's on the taller end of just like safeties and stuff. So
gotcha.
A lot of people, especially in high school, compared me to Cam Chancellor.
Okay.
I always was that headhunter. God rest his soul. He was a bigger safety that played for the Redskins. I forgot his name though. But that was my MO.
So that's why you came in. You seen me with the swollenness. You came up on me and charged me. That's why.
It was just respect, bro. You know, that's how my father raised. When you see another man, you gotta shake his hand. If you don't feel his presence, you know what
well, I hope you felt my presence.
Yeah, I felt your presence, man. You good. You good.
Yeah. So when you was a kid, so you played safety with Huffman.
Yeah, Huffman Raiders at that time.
Huffman
Hurricanes now.
Okay. So how long did you play? Did you play throughout from 5th grade on all the way through?
Yeah. So I played in 1st grade, all the way up to 3rd grade, and then I went to Trustville Huskies.
Okay.
So that's where I learned the fundamentals of football. So at Huffman, I learned grit, that's where my mindset of being a dog came from. Then I went to Trustville Huskies, learned the fundamentals, how to play, how to tackle the right way. And then I played at WJ Christian. Then I went to Ramsey. Now my transition to Ramsey was, I didn't want to go because they didn't have a football team. But I had heard that they were starting one up. My mom, she was really adamant about me getting a quality education inside the city of Birmingham. So she signed me up to go there. I tried to bomb the test, bro. I did not try my best. I was trying to go to Clay Chalkville, trying to go to Trustville. You know, these schools that have good programs.
Wait. Stop this interview. Stop. Did you just say you passed the test that you tried to fail?
Yeah.
I hate smart people like you. You know what I'm saying? Bro, really?
Yeah.
You could have just marked all the same answers and
I could have do a little zigzag.
Yeah.
I start writing the name.
You failed the test, bro.
Yeah.
You didn't really try to fill a test. You just read them and just wrote down an answer.
Hey man, I read with my first thought, and then that was the best thought, I guess.
Your best thought. That means you just smart, bro. That means that you just smart. But that's a good thing though. So I say when you went to Ramsey, they didn't have a football team at the time.
Right.
So did they ever have a football team while you was there?
Yeah. So the year before I got there, they had a JV squad. Okay. So they I think went 3-3. Don't quote me on it, but it was like an even season, right? Gotcha. And then when I got there, that was the first year for varsity ball. So we were developing our own culture, things like that. That they had leaders and everything already set in place. But I knew when I came in, something was missing. And I was trying to be that thermometer. I'm taking the temperature in. I'm the new guy. Like I ain't want to step on nobody's toes, but the essence of who I am was to be a leader. So whenever something's not right, I'm gonna speak up about it, or I'm gonna find another way that's a better way to accomplish a goal. And then one day, the trainer, Coach Otis Leverett, he came in, big 6'7" dude, about 260, man, went to the NFL, played at UAB. And he was like, hey, like it's something about you, son. I'm gonna put you on this treadmill and I'm gonna find out what kind of dog you got. And he put on the highest incline it can go, highest speed it can go. Didn't even think I was that fast, but I just knew I couldn't back down from the challenge. Team was watching while they were dying at the workouts, but I got through that process, didn't fall off, got through that. And coach went to the head coach and he said, hey, I think we found our leader. And I talk to him all the time nowadays where he's like, man, that was a divine moment where I knew that you were the person that we had been discussing before you even got here. So it was times where I would have the coaches back, like parents would be talking like, oh, dang, they sorry, coach need to run this, run that. I'm like, you run it then. Like, you know, you're not there at the beginning of a start and you're expecting the Nick Saban type of outcome, right? And now Ramsey is one of the top contenders inside the state for state championships, especially inside the city, because we were the first ones to go and obtain the state championship out of the city of Birmingham.
I heard you say before you got to Ramsey that you learned the fundamentals in middle school.
Elementary. Yeah.
Okay. So what are fundamentals in football?
Learning the right way to play. Nowadays you may see a guy might try to well, I say when I was playing, it was legal to cut block somebody. Okay. Right. But you're cut blocking, you're taking out the threat, but you're hurting the opponent. So the right way to play is, okay, if you're going to an opponent, first you got to respect them. You got to respect them no matter if they put in more work than you or not. You don't know that until you go face head up with them. Same thing is getting my head out the way when I go and make a tackle. So I love to hit hard. So if I were to go in and lead with my head, my longevity of football wouldn't end it with a knee. It probably would have ended with a neck injury, right? So at that young age, I learned the correct way to respect the game first, to respect the people that played it, but also learning how to protect myself.
Gotcha. Because a lot of times, you know, people, we throw out words, right? And you think you understand the meaning, the fundamentals. People say the fundamentals of basketball, the fundamentals of being on the microphone and stuff like that. But what are the fundamentals that you actually learn? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you was able to explain it to our audience. So in Ramsey, it sounds like you exceeded expectations because you became the leader. Did you get a scholarship out of Ramsey?
Yeah. So my 10th grade year, I didn't know what a 5-star was, 4-star, 3-star. I just wanted to play ball. Gotcha. And I didn't know what that route was to go play for a college or let alone D1 because with it being so new, I didn't have a blueprint from older guys on how to do it the right way. Gotcha. So Clemson came my 10th grade year, and I'm like, Clemson, they calling me out of class? Like, I'm getting out of math class to go talk to a coach, bro. I'm like, man, I can take a picture with him. I'm like, all right, bet, give me a card, I'm good. Right. So I'm thinking that means scholarship, but it doesn't. It just means they're showing interest. So a lot of these athletes nowadays, they think just because a coach sent you a gentrified letter, that means off, and it doesn't. So I'm going through the highs and lows of the recruitment process, and I get a phone call from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. They offer me a full scholarship. University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
Okay.
So they offered me a full scholarship D1 program. I think they're in the Conference USA. They play teams like UAB. So I was like, shoot, I'm gonna commit because this is my first one. I'm in the 11th grade. I don't know when the next one gonna come. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna commit. So I was a long-term commit with them. Ended up tearing my ACL. So one thing about that, it's like, bro, that's like.
Before we get to that torn ACL, big dog. Why you was in college? I mean, why you was in high school? Did you have aspirations to be in the NFL? Was that your thought pattern in 9th and 10th grade when Clemson came at you, right? Okay, oh man, okay, I'm pretty good now. They hollering at your boy, you know what I'm saying? They see me. And then you watching football on Sundays, seeing people doing their thing. Did you see yourself in the 10th grade? Did you see EJ? Did you see Kenton running down the field being a safety for an NFL team?
I never did. If I'm being real, I never did. I felt like that was just the expectation that came with being good with football.
Expectation from who?
People.
Okay. What about
so my family never put that pressure on me. They just wanted me to excel through anything that was thrown my way. But I felt that pressure from my teammates. I felt that pressure from just certain coaches. It was always like the next biggest thing. Like also fans, which my dad gave fans an acronym, which is fickle and nasty. They fickle and they also nasty at the end of the day. You can't trust them. So that was where that dream came from. It was never mine though.
So at 10th, in your 10th grade, then you're a star. You're getting people coming after you. What was your dream?
My dream during that time period, I wanted to be a federal agent. At that, if I put myself in that mindset, I wanted to be a federal agent. I wanted to do that.
Why?
Because I saw my dad, he was a federal agent as well. My grandfather on his side was inside the law enforcement. Not law enforcement, but he was inside the military, the Navy. So I'm seeing all these different people. My uncle, he was a detective up in Greenville. So I'm seeing all this law enforcement stuff, getting Christmas presents with police badges and stuff. So I'm like, man, I want to help the community this way.
So were you doing anything during that time from the 10th grade year? You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You're thinking, I'm playing football, I'm a star, but like you said, it never crossed your mind to be in the NFL.
Right.
But you were thinking about being an FBI agent or a federal agent or some sort of sort. Yeah. Were you doing things or moving things or taking a little curriculum during the time you was in college, in high school to actually do that?
I'll say no, but I was doing something that wouldn't show up on the resume. That was keeping my nose clean. So I knew that football wasn't the end all be all for me. So I knew that I couldn't post certain things, even when I was in the 10th grade. I couldn't reshare certain things because I knew I was going to have to get a background.
So you had the wherewithal at a young age.
I had the wherewithal because I had people in my ear that accelerated my knowledge and my understanding to where I wanted to go.
Okay. Was that hard for you?
Nah, it went hard because once I trust information and I vet where it's coming from, I'm gonna run with it and I'm gonna get you your fruit because I'm like, that's a seed that people took out their time to plant inside of me. I got to go out here and get fruit. Now, where that became hard is battling peer pressure with my peers. So I'm like, shoot, if they going to a party, I'm like, okay, I may be able to go, but it's a certain time I need to leave. Or if I go, I can't ride with you. Or if there's a house party and I know their parents not gonna be there, it's like I would love to be there, but I can't.
So I got to ask you this question, bro. It's Coffees and Conversation.
Talk to them.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Females. How did you get through that? Because being a superstar, you got your picks and chooses in high school. Were you turning down? Were you walking away?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Nah, man, that was something that I struggled with. You know what I'm saying? Like going into like females coming, well, women. I don't want to get into that way, but young ladies coming up to me, man. Right. Like I was entertaining it. You know what I'm saying? Now I did have a girlfriend in high school that protected me from a lot of those different things. You know what I'm saying? But like in any athlete's world, or even somebody that has influence, they're gonna always be there.
And the reason I'm asking these questions because you have a lot of young men, or some parents are going to share this with their kids.
Yeah.
Right. And so the things that you're going through, how you got to when we get to the other part of your story, we need to understand what made you do. See, 10th grade.
Yeah.
You got to think different. You were thinking different in 10th grade. So you didn't have it. So that's why you're able to do the things you do now. You said 10th grade.
Yeah.
I knew not to get in trouble. I knew not to post certain things on social media. Look at social media today with our young individuals. What do we see? They post in and everything and dare you to say something to them about it and get mad when it holds them back from what they need to get into. So that's why I'm asking you, because if I say it, I sound like an OG. I sound like somebody, man, nobody listens to you no more. Yeah. But you're 26 years old. You just went through that.
Yeah.
But your upbringing, but you said you trusted the people who was telling you the information. Do you think now that the kids that are coming up, they don't trust the information they're getting from their parents and their peers?
I say they don't see the information. So information is gonna always be there. But I saw the information that people were speaking into my life. So if you tell me something, I don't see it inside your life and you're not present, then I'm not going to believe what you say because I don't see the expected outcome for my life. Gotcha. So it's like I believed in it so much so that I wanted to get results in my life and I knew where I wanted to go. So that's why I trusted them. That's why I say it was a vetting process with me understanding who was giving it, why they were giving it, and how it was going to work for me.
I love that. I love that. So we graduate from Ramsey. You happy? You got your scholarship with your long-term commitment. Okay. Talk to me. What happened there?
So let me back up a little bit because I didn't go to University of North Carolina, Charlotte after I tore my ACL. So I decommitted from there.
Hold on. You tore your ACL in high school?
In high school. tore it in high school.
I thought you tore it in college.
I tore it in college too.
Wait a minute. So you tore it in high school. What grade were you in when you tore your ACL?
I was in the 11th grade.
Oh, so
going
ACL,
into my senior year.
So ACL, what part of the body is that in, and what is it?
So it's right here. Like I got the scars to prove it. Like right here, down in the middle.
Okay,
that's where your ACLs, I believe, or they open up in the middle and go somewhere else.
Okay.
But I tore my ACL. And then prior to that, I tore my MCL as well. So your MCL is in the middle of your, the inside of your knee. So I tore 2 ligaments in high school in 2 different occasions.
Was it because of a hit you did, or someone put a hit on you?
All of it was single, jumping up, coming down.
Wear and tear.
Like it you can't even explain it, bro.
Gotcha.
Like I'm like, I've done this that many times. Like, why is this happening? So then when I transitioned to Murray State, I played my senior year, really came back too early. But in the mindset of somebody that has 5 scholarship offers, all of them on the fence. And it's like, okay, we need to see film every single week. So every single week I'm playing, I needed film to send over to these coaches. Now, my coach, he knew that I wasn't ready. But you can't tell a 17-year-old, 18-year-old that he's not ready and his livelihood is on the line, right? Because like I said, I was C plus, B minus. So I knew that the academic scholarships weren't going to be on the table for me, not at the rate that was going to pay full in scholarship. So I had younger guys playing before me, and I'm going out in the beginning of the game as a team captain. But these younger guys have gone off to play in the NFL and CFL, like guys like Cordell Jackson, Starlin Thomas. Like these guys paved the way for athletes after me that came through Ramsey. So through healing and, like you said, counseling, I was able to go through that. But when I got to Murray State, they took a chance on me, man. Got up there the first week of fall camp. I tore my ACL, LCL, MCL, and partial meniscus.
You just went LL
Cool J, all that.
Yeah.
I tore everything, man, except for my PCL. That's still intact,
bro. So you came back too early from the ACL tear. You played your senior year.
Yep.
You went to Murray. How long before when you got to Murray till you went down to the 3L list?
Say I got there June 3rd, June 4th, around there. Lasted that whole summer camp period. And then August hit, probably 2 weeks before the season started. We was in fall camp. That's when I tore it. It was my freshman year.
How were you doing in camp?
I was doing really good, man. I was threatening to get on the traveling squad as a freshman, true freshman, making plays, making hits. And then one day we were doing the speed portion of the practice where we were scrimmaging each other. Running back came, linebacker made the tackle in front of me, and I jumped over the pile. And when I landed, everything tore. But I knew days before that this was going to happen because we were doing a drill earlier that week where we did a figure 8 drill. So that's something where you have to plant at full speed and keep leaning. Like it takes a lot out of your knee, and you don't know it until you have a deficit. So I would feel my knee almost leaving my foot behind. So every time I had to tighten up my knee brace and pop my knee back in place because there was nothing holding it together. So when that happened on the field, man, I landed on the 35-yard line. Coach looked at me, said, "Who offered this guy a scholarship?" and moved the ball up 5 yards and ran the next play with the next person taking my position.
Wow. So you were done.
Well, in my mind, in that position, I was like, okay, is this gonna be it for me? Because I knew like it was nothing holding my knee together. So went to therapy, rehab, and going into surgery, I didn't have a lot of faith, if that makes real. Like my mom had more faith than me. I know her prayers and stuff got me through it. But I asked the doctor, "Can I play again?" And he was like, "That's on you." And it was Dr. Dugas. He said, "I did my part. It's time for you to do yours." And that was all the faith I needed, because I'm like, okay, if he did his part, like I said, if he planted that seed in me and took the time out to get my knee back to where it needed to be, I need to go out and get some fruit.
So he didn't say you couldn't play. He just said it's possible if you do your part.
Right.
That's all you needed.
Right.
So what happened?
So went on doing that year, ended up rehabbing and going through therapy and everything. That following season, I got on the traveling squad a couple of games, and I ended up playing just special teams. I was spot playing, and then I went into the spring practice of my redshirt freshman year, and that's when I started taking off. So the last spring game I ever played, I had 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 3 pass breakups, and 4 tackles.
But you know it like the back of your hand, boy. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. Say that one more time. Say it fast.
two interceptions, 1 tackle. 1 touchdown, 3 pass breakups, and 4 tackles.
And that's from a man that had ACL, MCL, LL Cool J.
Yeah,
all
man.
that done.
Yeah.
Bruh, so you came back.
I came back, and 2 weeks after that, the coach told me that he didn't think I was the same athlete that he recruited, and they waived my scholarship.
Wait a minute. You doing everything and you succeeding, but they didn't see. So why do you think they didn't see what they need to see out of you?
They didn't expect it. So I'm not gonna say I shot myself, but I'm like, hey, bro, you really cooking out here, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So early that spring, you have something where it's like the recruitment process where you bring in recruits and stuff, and that was one of the best recruitments that Murray State had up to that point of me being there because everybody committed. So I had guys that were there, they played my position. So one thing about it is just like the Hunger Games, it's a game behind the game, right? It's always somebody in that control room changing some stuff up. Yeah. So I recruited athletes to come take my position. So scholarships are not unlimited. If it comes from this player, it has to go into another player, right? And that's where players are just an X and O. It's like it don't matter who's right there, who's gonna pay my bills, and who's gonna put the best product on there. Right. So they moved my name to the bottom of the food chain because they saw from my injury, and they didn't expect that to happen. So their positioning was already set before that game ever happened.
So you had already lost your position,
right,
due to what had happened, no matter how well you played.
And I didn't know it, and I realized that after the game, I'm like, bro, the coaches ain't telling me good game, bro. Bro, what you got going? Like, it was just weird energy, man. And I ended up meeting with my Murray State mom. You know, like athletes sometimes get people attached to them and stuff like that. And I met her my freshman year, where she was like, "Hey, I like your smile. I want you to be my adopted Murray State son." Like, bro, I got a mama, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't one of them stories. Don't do that. But
this ain't blind side. This ain't blind side.
You know what I'm saying? But bro, she had a great spirit about her, man. So I just said, yeah. And she took care of me within the guidelines of NCAA. So we never broke any rules or anything like that. Because she was limited in her position. And I didn't know at the time that she was on the Board of Regents, bro. So literally, the Board of Regents is like the council that keeps the president in line when he's making decisions on the university. Gotcha. So she heard about the circumstance, and I get a call during one of my classes. And she's like, "Hey, come to the old library." So I walk in there. The athletic director, the president, and a couple of representatives from the Board of Regents was in there. And they said, "Hey, we heard about your situation. We love the fact that you've been keeping your grades up. You've been impactful on campus." Because I had a nonprofit that I chartered there called Ransom, where I was giving people hope, like almost being like the on-campus therapy with no credentials, right? People would come talk to me. I would have different community events, partner with different people with the university and stuff. So they said they heard about all that and they wanted to reinstate my scholarship, and I didn't have to play another down of football. So they said all you gotta do is just stay here. If you wanted to go somewhere else, then you could.
I don't like you.
Yeah, bro.
Bruh. You gotta give me something on that, big dog. Boy. Yeah. Look at God.
Yeah.
Look at, man, your life has been led, boy. Bruh. You know how special that is?
Yeah.
You went in for one thing and somebody else, and
that all comes from the mindset of going to get fruit, bro. I gotta go get fruit. Because anything where if you get leaves and it's a apple tree season, right? And you go to an apple tree and all it got leaves, it's no longer an apple tree, it's a cursed tree. So why you got leaves and you're supposed to be fruitful? So you got people out here that look like they about something, but they're not. And I always refuse not to be that person.
Wow, that's powerful. And I love you keep saying that all you got to do is show me. And if you got credibility, I'm going to go get it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of times when we talk to the younger folks, even people my age, you lose the essence of going to go get it.
Yeah,
right. Because I realize I'm the fruit. I'm like you. I'm that go-getter, right?
Yeah.
When I walk in the room, you know who I am.
Mhm.
Or when I walk in the room, you know I'm somebody.
Right.
Because that's just the way I carry myself, and that's the way you carry yourself. So when you got the information that you was dropping, then you was picked back up.
Right.
Tell me that moment. Yeah, that right there.
So
that right there. Talk to me.
I realized that I couldn't hold on to other people's dreams no more. So it's like, okay, am I going to pursue this because people want me to go to NFL and I go to another school and then earn my position on that campus? Or do I take care of the things that I built on this campus that surpasses football? And I chose to stay. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stay until I get somebody to take over what I built. Next semester happened, nobody took over. Next semester happened, nobody took over. Next semester, so I'm like, dang, bro, I got to stay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's what obedience is like. It's like I want to do this. I'm still working out. I'm still inside the weight room with some of the football players. You know what I'm saying? Like still racing them, still doing drills. So it's like I was holding on to that dream, but it was something else I was supposed to be doing with that time. So I feel like that was wasted time for me because I could have been cultivating and building what I'm building now.
So how long did you do it?
I did it up until COVID, bro. So from 2018, it was 2 years of that dead period for me where I was working towards making a comeback on the football field if somebody took over what I had built at Murray State. And that 2020 is when I graduated.
Wow.
Yep. So it shifted because I'm like, shoot, football season finna be canceled? What you talking about? Canceled. Like, no, I've never seen a fall without football, and it was played in the spring. So I'm like, you know what, it's too much, bro. Then the transfer portal came up because when I was playing, the transfer portal didn't exist.
Right.
So that came in like 2019, 2020 around there. So I'm like, yeah, bro, this too complicated for me.
Yeah.
Because the last bit of film I have truly was from that spring game and then high school because I was injured. So I'm like, yeah, bro, I ain't finna go through this recruiting process no more.
So let me ask you this. When you graduated from college, what was your degree in?
So it was in criminal justice.
So the whole time you was pursuing,
Yep.
So you had a backup plan. You well, did you, or it just kind of happened that way?
No, bro, I don't believe in playing B's, bro. This junk stupid, man.
What?
Like, bro?
Oh, you got wait a minute. You got a lot of folks when you get mad at you, big dog.
I don't care, bro. Show me a person that got on the platform and said, "Hey, man, I thank God for my plan B. I fell back on this." I'm like, bro, no. Like people that are successful and they go after what they have, they take care of the things that's in front of them. They cultivate those things, and then if it doesn't work out, they find a contingency plan to make that work. So it may not look the way that you wanted to look, but at the end of the day, you always believed in what you said you wanted to set out to do.
I would want to debate you, but
no, it's all right, bro. It's your platform, bro.
No, I just think I'm not, because when I get into a debate, it's a debate. So you know, and I feel you, and I respect what you're saying. I'm that guy like you.
Yeah,
but I do understand from the position that you're standing in, you have to see it that way.
Yep.
Because if you see a plan B, you're not going to focus and put everything into this. Because me, I burn the ship and I keep it moving. Right. That way I can't go back. However, everybody can't operate like that.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you tell people they don't have a plan B, they're not going to go with plan A. Right. Some people need to make sure that the foundation is set for them just in case this don't work out. I'm like you now. I feel your passion. I feel your energy. But what would you say to the person that says that, do you think a person that has a plan B cannot be successful on their plan A?
I say this, you have to look at the risk and do like a SWOT analysis on anything that you want to set out for. So that's your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? So that's not saying that, okay, I got a plan A and then like, nah, man, you got to make sure you got put food on the table. You got to make sure you do these different things, right? So it's like you take care of what's in front of you. So if you got bills and stuff, you got to pay and you got to work at Walmart or McDonald's. Yeah, but that's not your plan A. You see what I'm saying? So that's not your plan B. That's taking care of what you have to in that moment to provide for that opportunity while you're still working on your plan A. So you can't view it as that's your fallback plan. That's to fuel you into where you want to go initially. I like that. So your plan A, it never changes because I'm a planner. So when somebody says you have a plan A, okay, I'm spending my time and my resources to put towards this plan B. And then you say, oh yeah, but while you're at it, build plan B. So now I got to shut off my mind from doing this and invest time to a plan B that may never happen. It's like, bro, I can't do that.
You're stepping on some toes.
And I'll say this, the toes that I may step on, I'm just telling you from my perspective. So anything that I say, this is my fruit. So you can look at my life and look at my mindset, and you can have your opinion. But I got to stay 10 toes down to what fruit I have inside of my life in the direction that I took to get there.
I love that. If y'all just tuning in on Coffees and Conversations, y'all hear the Filter Coffee Parlor. He's in the building. Josiah Kenty is saying his thing. Now I'm letting him walk into the mud waters over there. I didn't did enough in my lifetime. I'm gonna let you have that. So all the comments, I'm gonna let y'all aim it at him. I think Plan Bs are fine for those who need it. That's me. I don't believe in a Plan B myself, but I do believe in a solid foundation. Right, and launching off a solid foundation. But to say that, man, I love where you are because you're 26, and what I love about because you're 26 years old, you know, that I think the Plan B should go out the window because you got time to mess up and start over again. As you get older, I think those things you have to make different choices. Because before I was jumping off the platform, I was jumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm going at everything, bro. And like I said, a lot of stuff didn't work, right? But I didn't have a Plan B. But that made me have the fortitude to understand what I did wrong when I jumped. Because most people, as Steve Harvey would say, never jump. So I applaud you for the way you're looking at this and the way you're doing it, because that's where you are where you're today. Because if you had a Plan B, I don't think you would have continued in football up to the point that you did. Because to show when I'm listening to you in your story, you stayed the course. Now, I don't know if you ever thought about this. When you graduated from college, right? You did something your dad told you to do when you was 5 years old.
Finish. Yep.
And you never thought about that, did you?
Nah. That's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you stayed the course, bro.
Yeah.
You said the seed that was planted. Dad, plant the seed in you, bro.
Yeah.
You finished what you started. Right? So it wasn't a waste of time.
Right.
I heard you say that. But it wasn't a waste of time. Because everything you do, you're gonna finish what you start.
Right.
No matter what it comes out to, you're gonna finish what you start. That's that 5-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So seeing that you did that, you got out of college, you graduated. Now, what kind of grades, yada goo? What were you?
I don't know. I slept through the graduation, man. I had COVID while everything was virtual. Right. So I graduated with COVID, right? Yeah. So I almost slept through it. So I don't know what was attached to my name during graduation.
But you know you got your degree.
Yeah, I got on the dean's list a couple of times as well, you know. So like I did well with a bachelor's of science.
So when you graduated, after that, what we do?
So I stayed on campus. It was a graduate assistant, GA, for the Oral Communication Center for Murray State. So that's where I ran the entire center, where people came to redo their speeches. I coached people up on how to make outlines and things like that, how to speak with more diction and all that type of stuff, right? So I did that for about a year and a half. And then I got a call from this girl named Georgia Moore. And once I got the call from her, she was like, hey, we're coming out of COVID. We're trying to get the kids back excited about learning. And we want you to come teach STEP like through your fraternity with the kids. But you got to incorporate some kind of English ELA inside of it. So I'm like, I bet, you know, give back to the kids, right? You know, community service. So, man, I got in there with the kids. It was fun. I was just having the time of my life, no experience like with teaching kids or whatnot, but I just knew I cared, right? And the kids knew I cared, so we had fun. Even dealt with discipline in a way that I wasn't trained with, but like it was the best way possible that I knew. So they started taking a liking, like the administration and stuff, and it was like, hey, like the superintendent, you need to come to his classroom. So the superintendent came in, I dapped him up. I was like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? You know, it's like, I didn't know who he was.
I just dap him up like you dapped me up, bro. Did you scare the hell out of him?
Yeah. I'm like, bro, I mean, like, I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're here. I said, you can sit right there. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Right.
And he didn't let me know who he was that whole time.
Wow.
But all I knew was I got a phone call later on that day from him. He said, hey, I want to offer you a position to teach special education. We know you don't have any experience with teaching, but it's like flying a plane while you're trying to build it. He said, just don't fall out the sky. So I was like, I was like, all right, bro. You
Let's
know,
do it.
I needed insurance. You know,
Right.
I was getting to that age where my parents are taking me off of everything. So I'm like, this is stability, right? So I'm like, okay, I bet. But I knew during 2020, the promise that was over my life was that I was going to be speaking and I was going to be impacting athletes. That was always in
did you know that, bruh?
The things that interest me, the things that I dreamed about, the things that bothered me, for one, the things that made me mad that other people said, and I had a voice to go against it. I'm like, bro, you got a voice, make a platform out of it. If you disagree with how everybody else says these things that athletes need to transition, you need to create a platform to give people the direction that you understand life through. So that's how I knew God was speaking to me, because he spoke to me out of my frustrations, the things I wanted to fight people about.
You see, I'm looking puzzled, right?
Yeah.
Don't be clapping in the audience. Don't be clapping in the audience. Because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're very articulate, you're very charismatic. I see that. You're good. And that sounds good because you are EJ Kenton. Yeah. But I got to ask you this, EJ. When these things were going on, right? Were you talking to anybody? Did you have a mentor, right? To cultivate you, to get to that point, to help you understand? Because I know you that dude. But bruh, even when I was that dude at that age, I didn't know what to do with it. It seems like you already knew like how to do it, how to drive through it. So were there any mentors in your life?
Yeah, it's multiple.
Okay.
So like I said, go back to the principle. Wherever you see fruit in my life, there was a seed that was planted first. Okay. Right. So I had different people in the financial space, had different people on buying a house, had different people for spiritual guidance, different people inside of navigating for athletes. Because I'm not going to ask the person that's cutting my grass on how to buy a house that he cut the grass for. Right. He might have bought a house before, but that's not your profession, bro. Right. You know, so I knew from a young age like what stupidity talk looks like. Okay. And I knew to go to people based upon their expertise, and that's what they see on a daily basis. Okay, where they put their time and their efforts into. So
that's an important point for people watching this interview to understand, right? This conversation between us, that you sought out people that was professionals in what they did. A lot of people don't do that. Right. Let me say that again. You sought out people that were professionals in the things that they did, and you asked the questions, and you got the mentorship from that. Because again, if people just hear the story and we glide on through this, right? It sounds like EJ had everything together. And I'm calling BS on that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm calling straight BS on that. Because I know you good, but no, bro. At 20 some years old, it ain't no way in the world you got all that together. Unless you grew up in your daddy's boardroom or your mama's hospital, where she was the boss of the hospital. You walk around, you got to meet all these people. You have to be influenced. There are a few geniuses in this world that knows a lot and very smart. But the way you have cultivated your life, bro, is amazing, number one. Yeah. I want to ask you this question before we get to the other good part of this interview. Give me some of the names of the three most influential people that to this point where we are right now.
Yeah. Just for a disclaimer, my mother and father gonna always be at the top of that list.
Of course.
You know, seeing my mom go into the entrepreneur space, seeing how she left her job, seeing the tears that she cried, I'm like, yo, this is attractive to me. Like this, like, even though it's painful, I'm seeing how she's navigating to it. So I'm like, Mom, keep on going. I'm gonna follow your footsteps. Wow. Same thing with my dad, like his mentality of the stability, right? Because in the entrepreneur space, you don't have that stability all the time. You got to create that foundation, right? Right? So with my dad, he always was like, hey, I'm the provider. I got this job. I got this federal job. I'm able to keep us afloat while, baby, you go out and obtain your dreams, right? So I saw that balance from a healthy standpoint, but I also saw the pain there, so I knew what I was signing up for. But the top three outside the household, I would say Coach Otis Leverett. He's always at the top of my list as well, because he trained me inside the space of going towards athletics. Gotcha. Tony Thompson. I was set up by my other adolescent mentor, Jeremy Towns. I'm gonna get to him, but Tony Thompson played a vital role of me understanding my place inside the speaking world, because he's a renowned speaker. So he wrote a book, he did all those different things. So he gave me the blueprint in 2020 that just in 2025 I'm seeing the fruit on it now. But I always kept those notes. Jeremy Towns, he played as a spiritual guide for me, especially from high school all the way up until my college years. So it was those three definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
I love that, man, and shout out to those three. Of course, mom and dad always first and foremost. But that's beautiful, man, because I always like to know when I look at people successful now, right? You that dude, you ready to talk on a big stage, but how did that get there, and who were the people in your life? Because one thing I've talked to many people I'm talking my lifetime, I've talked to numerous of people, and one thing I've always known, they have a team. They have great people around them. Nobody does it by themselves.
Yeah,
nobody. So now you're this guy. You didn't graduated. You doing your thing. So what we do next?
So got into the space. They offered me a job and everything. My first year teaching, I won Teacher of the Year. So I think it's a quote by Drake. Bruh said, "You the rookie and the vet." So I'm like, okay, I'm a rookie here, but it's something that I'm a professional in. That's making connections with kids, making connections with people, loving people, right? In spite of what they're presenting. So I did that. Got some hardware out of it. Next year, won Outstanding Middle School of the Year award by Murray State University. So after that, I was like, man, I got to transition home. Like I was just always pointed back to home, and that was after I said I'd never come back. But it was just out of the year. God told me 2 years, bro. At the beginning of that 2-year process, he said 2 years.
I asked this question of all my guests because most of my guests will talk about God, and the people who watch the show, they know what I'm about to ask. Right? How did God talk to you, bro? Was it, hey, how you doing? Or hey, how you doing? Or how did God talk to you?
It's the essence of who I am, bro. So I say this, and I don't want to get too deep, but
go deep, bro, because I want to know how he talked to you. I want to know, did he appear in front of you? Was it a voice? How did God talk to you?
Fasting and praying, bro. I got to remove toxins from my gut, bro. I got to remove those things away from me so that God can be able to talk to me, because that's the number one place where you feel fulfilled. It's like good food and everything like that. I'm like, I got to remove that so that I could be able to hear from God.
So you was doing this in college?
I was doing this in college.
Okay. And who someone started you on that, or is it something you just figured out? Or
something I seen. So I saw it with my mom, like I said, doing that process where she praying, she fasting, she doing all this. I'm like, I bet I see it work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I did it the right way.
Gotcha.
But I'm like, should it work? Okay. So the way I fasted in college and the way I fast now is totally different.
Okay.
Right. But I'm going through this process, and God is communicating to me through people. That's one thing about it. God not finna come down here and hug somebody. Okay. He's about to create an unction from somebody to go give somebody a hug that they needed. Right. So people always have this ideology that, okay, where's your God now when somebody just got killed? Like, he also gave us free will, and people do some dumb stuff. Right. We can't put all that on God. Because if he were to intervene on different things and come in as this individual, he would go out of his principles and his precepts, which means that he will make his word a lie, and God is not a liar. So he has to operate through people. So it was different people that was giving confirming words to me, where they'll be like, hey man, you sure you want to be here like long term? Like, what's your plan? Like I like people will always come up to me in Kentucky, bro, and they'll be like, man, I'm surprised you still here. Where that come from? I'm like, bro, I'm doing all these good things with the youth. Like, you want me to leave?
Right.
But it was almost like people were pushing me out. And in that last year, the last 6 months, I went through depression, anxiety, all those different things, because I was no longer happy inside of that situation, and I was doing the good thing. So all good things are not God ordained things. So it was getting traction, it was getting this recognition, but I was unhappy, bro. So it was literally life circumstances, because I'm hard-headed at the same time. I stay in situations longer than what I'm supposed to. And that was God communicating with me like, all right, bro, since it's going to be tough, you're going to be the down for your own demise until you actually go into where I'm trying to push you.
As I listen to you, EJ, you don't like to lose. You hate losing. You hate being at the end of something and you didn't complete it, or it didn't turn out the way you want to. But when you walk away from it, you gave it your best. Tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying, but I'll add a component to that, because I saw a post the other day, and I actually put it under my latest post, like a caption, and it said, if you knew you had 20 more losses before you succeed, how hard would you go towards success?
Hard.
And it's like, okay, if I know that success is on the other end of this 20, then it's like, oh, whoa. Okay, bet. I know it's but we don't always have the amount of losses that we need to take. So in me, I know I have to keep on going hard, and I know it's going to end up winning for me.
I'm gonna tell you one of my formulas, right? And I think it was either Jobs or Bezos that said this. I'm not for sure, but anyway, for me, all I know is I have to win one time. That's it. I gotta get through the losses. I just gotta win one time. Once you win, that's it. That's game over. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I don't look at nothing. I could care less about a loss. I'm gonna take that like oh, okay, that's one. Now I know what not to do. For me, every time I lose, I know what not to do because I know I'm that much closer to my win.
Yeah.
And the way I do, the way God hollers at me as your boy, right? He hollered at me, be saying, "I'm gonna keep you in the game."
Yeah.
Whatever God never gives you anything that you don't need. He take away everything that you don't need, right?
Yeah.
So for me, he's taking away everything I don't need. But everything I needed, guess what? He fed it to me plentifully. I had to earn it and keep it, but he gave me nuggets to keep what I needed.
Yeah.
And when God kept me in the game, he said, "You're gonna win, but you asked for something really big, Joe."
Yeah.
There's some other things you got to do before I give it to you, because if I give it to you right now, it ain't gonna work the way you want it to on a global stage. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always curious how God talks to people, because God don't come down and I've never heard his voice.
Yeah.
I've never seen a vision, right? But I have urges. I have moments. Like if I'm in the store and somebody's behind me and they may have something I see, and especially I have a knacking for older people generation, and I see, you know, a woman kind of going through a while trying to figure out how she's going to pay for something, right? The first urge is pay for it. I'm like, paying for nobody's stuff, right? The second urge is pay for it, right? So when that second time come, the third one is definitely going to come.
Yeah.
That ain't me. That's God. And so I always say, put it on my tab.
Yeah.
Always. So now I understand how, because before I think God was already talking to me, because I've heard those before. I had the notion to do something, I never moved on it.
Yeah.
Because it was out of my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? And so I think for me, anytime I move God moves me out of my comfort zone. Let me just say that. That's how he talks to me. He moves me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And anytime I move out of my comfort zone and go by what he's urging me to do, man, when I say this man show out for me every single time.
Yeah.
But it's uncomfortable. When God talks to me, man, he uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He makes me very he got me doing things that I'm very uncomfortable doing, but it makes me better at the end of the day. That's how he talks to me. So I'm always curious when I have my guest on the show is, how did God talk to you?
I say this, bro. Like he talked to me like a friend, bro. And I was reading the scripture the other day about, he was like, man, we have this idea that we're supposed to be this servant to God, right? But a servant doesn't know his father's business. So God wants us to be so closely knit to him that we know his business, so that it's not like a, hey, do this, and then dang, I don't want to do this. Like the voice of you is unfamiliar, right? So it's like you got this tug and pull type of thing, because it's a servant and a master. But the moment you get into that posture of saying, hey man, Jesus my homeboy, bro, this my dog. You know what I'm saying? So when he talking to me, it's like, bro, so you sure you need me to do this? He was like, oh, so you don't trust me? I had your back then. Right. Why not now?
Exactly.
Like, I bet. So you got that relationship with him so much so that when you hear his voice, it's no longer uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I've seen this before. I know it's what I need to do. I just do it.
Wow. So as God has been talking to you through your life, you left the college. It was time.
Yeah.
I'm really curious now. What happened, EJ? Talk to me.
For
college, when you left college, you went home. That
Yeah.
you didn't want to go back to. You wound up coming back to Alabama.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I got into teaching again, right? So that was because that was my resume said, right? I was like, man, I'm looking at my resume. I'm like, man, my resume don't see this. I've been speaking to different things. People flew me out to Arkansas and spoke on different platforms and stuff, man. So I'm like, okay, I see it's adding up on this side, but it's not enough to be lucrative for my plan A. So that's why when I said the McDonald's and the Walmart thing, I always told myself that something is going to pull me away from the education space, but it has to pull me away from it.
Okay.
So when I got into teaching here, I taught a year and a half. Last November, got a phone call. and I ended up being transitioning out of the classroom space to be able to have more free time, because it's like I loved I3 Academy. I did, man. I enjoyed my time there, but I wasn't able to do all that I knew I needed to do that was burning on the inside of me.
Gotcha.
So I had a real conversation with my kids. I'm like, hey, I know y'all may not understand it now, but like I promise you, man, it's gonna make sense. And literally, I went to their graduation, the 8th grade graduation, and I had a boatload of kids say, hey, it finally makes sense. I see what you were trying to do, and it's just getting started. So I was able to come get my book out. I was able to have a book signing tour. I was able to obtain the TEDx state platform. So it's different things that I told them back in November that I'm working towards this, but they were able to see the fruit.
So everything that's a lot of stuff you said this has been last year, November, so 2024. 26, graduated. And now all of a sudden, you on TEDx. Alabaster.
Yeah.
Because you made that choice.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you got that phone call? And have you ever tried to be on TEDx? Have you ever tried to do it before?
Man, bro, I think it's 2021. I can look at the DM now, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally contacted a person and I was like, hey, like, how'd you do it, man? Left me on red. So one thing about it, I didn't take it to heart. I just forgot about it. I was like, man, you know what? I reached out, didn't get back to me.
So you reached out to somebody who was doing it, or what
had been on the stage.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that means you had interest in it. Okay.
Yep. So like again, it was never my dream. It was somebody else that said, hey man, you need to hit him up so you can get on TEDx. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it just to check off a box. He didn't reply. Oh well. I just kept on building the foundation for what I knew I needed to do.
Right.
So then come to this year, it's like, yo, it's really happening. Right. But it put me in a position that's like, this is what it's like to be faithful over the things that you need to be obedient for. And then this is what I had on the other side of this whole time.
And you know I'm not gonna let you get away with this, right? Let me put my coffee down, because I ain't think you get that.
No, it's cold anyway.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's still hot.
No, it does good for me.
Okay.
But no, we're gonna get him, because I want to get into how does it feel to be getting ready in August.
Yeah.
From ACL. So you know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
To college, tearing all 3, getting your scholarship taken, then another one given back to you. Am I doing good so far? Okay. Then you graduate, you stay somewhere where you felt that you stayed too long. Then you come back home, you still not satisfied. All these things you done did before 26. You done lived a lifetime. And at 26, when is your birthday?
November 18th.
So you'll be 27 this year. So all before your 27th birthday, between the span of from 5 till 26 years old, your ass about to be on TEDx. I need to know, big dog, what that feel like. From number one, congratulations.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. You 26 years old. You're an inspiration to a lot of people watching this show today. I need to ask you, big dog, real talk. What is it like to go through all of that? And now you finna stand on stage in front of hundreds of people and tell your story on TEDx.
I got to be faithful over the opportunity, bro. Because dang, boy, you get me emotional, bro.
It's a coffee conversation, baby. Let's do it.
It's a lot of my homeboys that I wish I can get this opportunity to, bro. Some of them not here, some of them locked up. Some people that was more talented to me, had more ideas than me. It just puts me in a humbling position, because I've been in a place where I've lost everything, then got some things back, lost everything, then God restores it, lost some things, and then so I understand that this is something that's not light, but I'm also preparing the groundwork for something to be launched off of this. So it is not just, you know, this TEDx thing. This is an idea that I'm going to be talking about that people lose their lives over, that people unalive themselves for. So I'm not going on there. This is not for me, bro. This is so that the word can get out, so that more athletes can get guidance on how to navigate through their own things. Because I wish I could give my life to somebody else, bro. I wish. Like I didn't want to go through all that, bro. I didn't want to almost die in a car wreck in the 11th grade, bro. I didn't want that, and that was attached to the game of football. I was on my way to practice with 5 of my teammates, and we flipped over, and our team came. We never practiced that day. So I'm like, I wish I can give people the pain that I've had, but nobody to take it. So that's why I had to just give that jump to God. And it's like, okay, if this comes out of the pain that I got to go through, cool, I'll be the vessel. But at the end of the day, something has to come from this that is just more than just an experience. It has to be impact.
Impact, and that's so people can learn from you.
No, it ain't me, bro.
Okay.
It ain't about me. I'm just the vessel that holds the idea to get things out. So I don't care if it's my name. Like if my name draws people to the information, then cool. But it's more than just me. The idea is here to impact the next generation.
America, if y'all have not been watching, I know you're watching right now. EJ is in the building, Mr. Kent. If you heard his passion, you know why you need to go to TEDx in August to go hear this man speak. I will be front stage looking, listening to my man. I'm going to be there cheering my man on because I want to hear the rest of the story. You know what I'm saying? So tell us when this event is going to be happening.
It's going to be August 15th. Get your tickets early because it's limited seats. Because one thing about TEDx events and stuff like that, especially TEDx Alabaster, you don't want this room of 1,000 people and then you got to manage the noise level of these 1,000 people, right? So it's going to be a confined room where these seats are going to start filling up fast for people that get bundles and stuff like that. So right now is the prominent time to get this done.
Do you have a website, or do you have some question we put up on the thing here, but is there a place they can go start getting the tickets?
Yes. So I don't remember the website off bat, but if you look up TEDx Alabaster on Google, it'll lead you right to it once you go to the website and then go to the ticket sales.
And before we get out of here, man, I know I want to value your time. Thank you for having this conversation with me today. I want you to tell me a little bit about your foundation. One time on Flip the Culture. What's that all about?
Yeah, so Flip the Culture came from the book that I wrote and published this year. It's called Overtime: How to Win a Championship in Life. And Flip the Culture came from when I was down on that 35-yard line. It's like, bro, if this is the culture that is set for this, we need to flip it. We need to flip the way that athletes are viewed post sports. We need to flip the way that athletes lead their families. We need to flip the way that athletes even lift boxes in the warehouse. It's not that opportunity is bad. It's just how you're approaching it, right? So we could be all-stars on the field and also off of it. We just have to learn the psychology behind transferring that mentality over into a new arena.
If I want to get your book, where can I go get it?
You can get it off Amazon. You can go to my website, but I got a book for you, man, so I can get it to you.
Okay, outstanding. Also, the other thing is, man, number one, congratulations on everything, man. You are definitely ready for the stage. Meeting you today has been a joy. I'm looking forward for more things from you. But I got another question before I let you get out of here, bro. You know, this is what I do on this platform. You know, I got to ask you this question. 26, gonna be 27 in November, going on the stage in August, right? What would you say to the 5-year-old EJ now? What would you tell him?
I tell him it's gonna be hard, but you built for it, and listen to all the people that you trust. I wouldn't change a thing, bro. Like even out of the mistakes that I made, even the people that are upset, like I'm the villain in some people's story, I'm the hero in others, man. But I would not take back those experiences because I've always seen the other end of it. I've always seen transformation out of it.
Josiah Kente, y'all. Josiah Kente. If they want to follow you on social media, EJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on all platforms. Instagram is my main platform, so you can go to _Josiah_, and then also Flip the Culture on Instagram. You find me on Facebook, LinkedIn. You search Josiah, it'll pop up.
And I need you to spell your name because you know we spell names completely differently. So I need you to go ahead and spell E Josiah, bro. Don't leave us out
Ah
there
man,
like that.
Ejosiah, EJOSIAH. Last name Kenty, Kenty.
And this is one little nugget that I want to leave y'all with. Everybody in his brother and sister got an E in their name. Can you tell me that?
Well, not my brothers and sisters, but my grandfather's name was Ernest Henry.
Okay.
My father's name was Ernest Gregory, and
Okay.
then mine is Ernest Josiah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, bro.
Mhm.
Hey man, let's link it up, man. Even though I know you drunk about your coffee, hit me up right there, big dog. Hey man, I enjoyed this conversation with you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and follow the one and only EJ. We love you guys, man. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. And if you did, make sure you do me a favor, share the video there, like us on LIM Network on YouTube, on Facebook. Go ahead and follow us at Joe Locker or the Joe Locker Show. Y'all know how we do it, man. We'll be back with another great interview next week. I want to thank my man EJ. I am motivated. I'm definitely going to Alabaster to go see TEDx. Y'all need to hang out with your boy too. And we'll see you guys next week. You know how I feel about you, right? I love you.